It's late. You're tired. You're scrolling. And suddenly you're staring at something you didn't plan to buy. Maybe a jacket, maybe shoes, maybe some gadget you'll forget about in 6 months. Then checkout hits. Not the price, the button. Pay $48 today. Not $192 total, just $48 today. Your brain relaxes. Your finger clicks. Problem solved. Or so it feels. Except the problem didn't disappear. It just got rescheduled. The illusion that changed how we spend. Buy now, pay later didn't explode because it's revolutionary. It exploded because it feels harmless. No interest, no credit check, no scary numbers, just vibes. In less than a decade, BNPL went from a niche checkout option to a system moving hundreds of billions of dollars a year. Tens of millions of Americans now use it regularly, and not just for big purchases. Clothes, electronics, concert tickets, groceries, takeout. Yes, people are financing food. That alone should make us pause. Interest-free, until it isn't. Here's the part that gets glossed over. BNPL only stays interest-free if you remember every payment, you pay on time, and nothing unexpected happens. Miss once and the fees start stacking. Delay again, and suddenly the free loan costs more than a credit card. Some companies make a huge chunk of their revenue from late fees alone, not from helping you, from you slipping up. And slipping up isn't rare, it's common. A massive percentage of users miss payments every year, not because they're irresponsible, but because the system is designed to be easy to enter and hard to mentally track. Multiple apps, multiple due dates, multiple tiny withdrawals that don't feel connected to the original purchase, until they all hit at once. Why your brain falls for it every time. This isn't about math, it's about psychology. Your brain doesn't process 4 payments of $25 the same way it processes $100. Splitting a cost reduces what researchers call the pain of paying, the internal friction that normally stops you from overspending. When that pain disappears, spending goes up. That's why stores that offer BNPL see huge jumps in average order size, not because customers suddenly need more, but because everything feels affordable. You didn't plan to spend $220. You planned to spend $55 today. Your bank account only shows today. Your future budget doesn't get a vote. The slow slide into loan stacking. This is how it usually unfolds. You start with one purchase, then another, then another. Each payment is small, so it feels manageable. But soon you're not tracking purchases, you're tracking dates. Payments are due every few days. You wake up wondering which app is about to pull money from your account. At that point, you're not using BNPL. BNPL is using you. And here's the dangerous pivot. When money gets tight, instead of cutting spending, people use BNPL to survive the month. Groceries, gas, essentials. Debt stops being a tool and becomes a lifeline. That's the spiral. The part nobody wants to say out loud. BNPL companies didn't stumble into this design. They studied impulse behavior, cognitive bias, and payment friction. They know exactly how people think at checkout. They know which numbers feel safe. They know that scattered payments cause forgetfulness, and merchants happily pay higher fees to offer BNPL because it makes customers spend more. That's the deal. You're not the customer. You're the product. Your spending behavior is what's being sold. Why this hits younger generations hardest. Gen Z and millennials use BNPL more than anyone, often preferring it to credit cards. That sounds reasonable until you look closer. Credit cards have limits, one due date, and consumer protections. BNPL often has no unified limit, multiple due dates, and minimal oversight. It's death out guardrails. When an entire generation grows up financing everything, from shoes to sandwiches, debt stops being a decision and starts feeling like default behavior. That's not flexibility, that's conditioning. So what do you actually do? If you're already using BNPL, here's the grounded, non-dramatic reality check. First, open every app, count everything. Debt thrives in vagueness. Second, freeze new purchases. No just this once. That's how the loop resets. Third, stop thinking in payments. $300 split 6 ways is still $300. Fourth, if you can't buy it without financing, you can't afford it yet. The button doesn't change that, it just disguises it. And finally, if you're financing necessities, that's not a strategy, that's a warning light. The question that breaks the spell. Next time you see pay $25 today, pause. Ask yourself one thing. Would I still buy this if I had to pay the full amount right now? If the answer is no, the deal isn't good. It's just quiet. Because buy now, pay later always ends the same way. You pay later with money, or fees, or stress, or habits that follow you for years. And sometimes the smartest financial move isn't finding a clever way to afford something, it's deciding you don't need it at all.